Hey everybody, good morning. Welcome to Against the Public for June 23rd. I'm Dana Lane. Today we're going to go through my top 3 Major League Baseball free plays for Sunday, and then we'll wrap it up with our betting tip. Something that's been lingering around for a few days. Somebody asked a couple days ago about what do home teams do when, say, like a series is tied at 1? How do they react to game 3? We'll go through all those numbers. Very interesting. After the show, please go to pickdawgz.com, where I'll have my top premium Major League Baseball plays locked and loaded. Of course, you can get those individually, or you can get them in a 3-pack, just $49.99. The individual games and the 3-pack, of course, always come with our Pick Dawgz win guarantee that states you must profit or receive an immediate site credit for the purchase price. In addition, you guys already know, there's only one way to get involved with every play that I release, whether it's Major League Baseball, the upcoming NFL preseason, takes you all the way through. If you get an annual pass, takes you all the way through the NFL, college football, NBA, NHL, college basketball season. You can get one of those annual all access passes for just $3.56 a day. If that's a little bit too rich, knock it down to a 90-day pass. You can get that for less than $10 a day, or a 30-day pass for less than $11 a day. Thank you so much to everybody that has so far. Let's get to your free plays for Sunday. Really good card, and I had a little difficulty deciding which one I want to be free plays and which one premium plays, but here they are. Remember, always check your starting pitching because they could change before game time. Make sure you know what your money's going behind. 11:35 Eastern Time, game 9:51, 9:52. Arizona Diamondbacks versus the Philadelphia Phillies. Phillies minus $1.98, 9.5 over minus 15. Slade Cecconi against Christopher Sanchez. An interesting betting pattern to start the wagering on this one. We see 82% of the money coming in on Arizona. Just about 1,300 tickets monitored on this. 62% of the money is on the under. And what makes it interesting is that teams that are favored by $1.90 or more over the last 3 seasons are 929 and 449 for a win percentage of 674. Still not good enough to make a profit. Just under 50 units lost on that if you bet every game $1.90 or more, which we know is not the way to go. But just still interesting because you do win the majority of games, 67% of the time. And even in 2024, it's even better, 116 and 51, a 695 win percentage. So it is interesting that the public has gravitated towards the dog in this game. 993 times out of the last 1,378 games monitored show that the public bet the favorite in this situation 72% of the time. So it's kind of head scratching about what makes this game so different and why the public jumped on Arizona. And I hope it's not because of Cecconi, because just because he's coming off of a good outing against the Washington Nationals, has given up almost 3.5 earned runs over, or average almost 3.5 earned runs allowed over 4 2/3 innings over his last 5 starts. That's an average start for him. Then we have Sanchez. Just signed a brand new contract, so he should be plenty motivated. He's allowed more than 1 earned run just once in his last 5 starts. So I'll take Sanchez as a starter. I think he's the better of the two, and I'll certainly take the Philadelphia Phillies bullpen. Wind might be a small factor throughout the game. They're expecting gusts at about 14 miles an hour. That's going to be blowing out to right field. So about 14 miles an hour, that's going to affect maybe the totals if you want to get involved in that. But you remember, go back a few shows. Don't get excited every time you see wind blowing out. I am going to go under the total here because I just don't want anything to do with the side. I think it's a funny number, and I want to stay off games where the public is like all over the dog for some reason. I don't see it. To me, it's a get out of the way, go towards the total, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to go under 9.5. 2:10 Eastern Time, 965, 966. Baltimore Orioles against the Houston Astros. Houston minus $1.25, 8.5 under minus 15. Albert Suarez against Framber Valdez. Just under 1,400 wagers on this game so far. We see 94% of the money is on the Astros, with 85% going on the over. Many thought this is probably going to be a letdown series, including myself. I thought this would be a letdown series for the Orioles after that series against the New York Yankees, but so far, that is absolutely what has happened. They lost the first 2 games of this series, and again, I'm not surprised, or again, I am surprised that the Orioles are not getting the public money here, but bettors seem pretty comfortable with Valdez, who has allowed 9 earned runs in his last 26 innings. That's pretty good, a 3.12 ERA, certainly above average. And Suarez has bounced between the pen and as a starting pitcher, been pretty effective this season. 3-1 record, a 2.05 ERA. He's allowed just 6 earned runs in 23 innings, which equates to 2.35 ERA. I do like my streaks, and I tend to agree with the public here after they've Houston's won 5 of the last 6 games and 7 of 10 against the Orioles. I keep waiting for this Astros team to go on a little bit of a run. Maybe this is the start, and a sweep of the Baltimore Orioles would certainly catapult them as far as, between the ears, which has probably been a problem for most of the year. From what I hear, that locker room has been a little bit unstable until they made some changes. It looks pretty good right now. So I'm going to take Houston minus $1.25. 7:10 Eastern Time, 9:55, 9:56. New York Mets against the Chicago Cubs. Luis Severino against Javier Assad. We've seen some fairly large wagers come in on the Mets and over, both at FanDuel and Iowa, which is not a surprise considering its proximity. What is surprising is the wagers coming in on the Mets and the over, and they were made about 8 minutes apart from each other, so that's a little bit surprising. Somebody's a Mets fan, you would think in that part of the world you get some Cubs money because of course their AAA affiliate is in Iowa. A fact we always want to know is the win factor at Wrigley. Won't be an issue here. It looks like the wind's going to go from left to right between 7 and 8 miles an hour. Nothing to worry about. 4 of the last 6 Mets games have cashed over tickets, and it would be 5 of 6 if yesterday's total wasn't 11. If we had today's total yesterday, it would be 5 of 6. Cubs have been an under team for most of the year, but they too are on a 3 of 5 over streak. Check that, 3 of 5 under streak. And again, it would be 4 of 5 if the total wasn't another Wrigley overreaction. All right, check that, over streak. But again, another Wrigley overreaction where we put up 11 and it goes under. Again, another video where we took a look at Wrigley Field and said, yeah, that's not what we think. We think when the wind's blowing out, it's going to go over. But again, those are always still factored in the numbers. We don't have to overreact just because of a weather report. We know Severino was lit up by the Rangers in his last start, allowed 6 earned runs and 6 1/3. Mets did win that game 7-6, and of course Assad has allowed 8 earned runs in his last 15 1/3 innings, a 4.70 ERA. I'm going to go over the 8 as your third free play. Okay, now on to our fun part of the show, which I really like doing. Here's your handicapping tip for Sunday. Today, we're going to talk about the home team in Game 3 of a series, which is relevant. Of course, this is Sunday, so that is very relevant to every series, or just about every series. Here are the numbers. Home teams, Game 1 of a series, 195 and 177. This is in 2024. 195, 177, 524 win percentage, minus 12.07 units. Over the last 3 years, home teams have won 51.4% of the games, minus 133.73 units. That's just Game 1 of a series. Game 2, home teams this season have won 52.8% of the games, minus 11.36 units. Over the last 3 seasons, 53.5% have gone to the home team in Game 2, minus 66.13 units. And Game 3 is where I was asked about, and this is where it gets interesting. This year in Game 3, home teams are 191 and 151, a 559 win percentage, plus 7.53 units. So we've squeezed out a little bit of a profit, and over the last 3 years, 536 win percentage. Unfortunately, that has not squeezed out profit, minus 45.18 units. Game 4, by the way, some Game 4s, 26 and 32 this year. It goes to the home team, 11.38 units. Over the last 3 years, 201 and 180, a 52.8% win percentage, minus 18.11 units. So, moral of that is Game 3. does typically, or in 2024 has gone to the home team 55, almost 56% of the time, but not that win percentage has not held up over the last 3 years, although it is the highest win percentage amongst games 1, 2, and 3 and 4 for the home team, 53.6% over the last 3 years. So yeah, it's done pretty well this year, even turned a little bit of a profit, but don't get so tied into that because history tells us we may go a little bit backwards. Now, to get very specific, when a home team has won the first 2 games of this series, their game 3 record is 135 and 131 in 2024, minus 34.63 units. Over the last 3 seasons, over the last 3 seasons, and in 2024, it's 26 and 23. I'll say that again. Over the last 3 seasons, when the home team has won the first 2 games of the season, their record in game 3 is 135, 131, 2024, 26 and 23. When the home team has dropped the first 2 games of the series, they are 24 and 17 plus 4.10 units in 2024, 129 and 87 plus 38.82 units over the last 3 seasons. So that's something to really hang your hat on. That's something to write down. Again, home team, when they have dropped the first 2 games of the series, have not only done well in 2024, but they also have long-term they have a long-term result of 38.82 units. So that's what I like to see. You might say, okay, well, great, you're doing well in 2024. Is this something I can sustain over a long period of time? And this tells us that the home teams are the play after dropping the first 2 games of the series. Now it gets interesting. When a series is 1-1 headed into game 3, the home team is 92 and 75. Really good win percentage. Not good enough to turn a profit. Just a small loss, 1.10. Check that, 1.11 units lost in 2024, and 436 and 385 minus 33.14 units lost over the last 3 seasons. So to answer this question in the best way that I can, of course there are some trends here that do favor home teams on a game-by-game basis. You're giving yourself a chance to win. When games are headed into the game 3, when it's 1-1, 92 and 75 in 2024, certainly well over 500. But again, we always have to factor in that money line that's not really always been a friend to us. And so what we want to do is we want to take those home teams when they've dropped the first 2 games of the series. Not only is it showing a profit in 2024, but it has showed a profit over the last 3 years, and that to me is a solid trend. So I think that catches everybody up on handicapping request. If there's anything you'd like me to research, please let me know in the YouTube channel, and I'll be more than happy to go through it and get you those numbers. That does it for today's show. For Sunday's free play and tip, go to pickdawgz.com. Get involved with one of my many available packages, including my all-access pass that gives you every play that I release. You got one more day, guys. Let's make this weekend fantastic. Get involved with an all-access pass now. Here's your Sunday free plays. Arizona, Philadelphia, under 9.5, minus $1.05. Houston, minus $1.25. And the Mets, Chicago Cubs, over 8, minus $1.10. That does it for the show today. Thank you to everybody who continues to watch on a daily basis. Please hit that like button or the subscribe button. You get every video sent right to your phone every single day if you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. And like I said, if we get to 200 likes, and I see you guys, I see you hitting the like button a little bit more, but we get almost 2,500 views a day. Everybody hits the like button. I'll give you 2. I'll even give you 3 handicapping tips a day. It's not only just going to be baseball, guys. We're going to go into football. I'm going to do it in football. We're going to do it in hockey. We're going to do it in the NBA. Anything you guys want, I'll make sure I put it up there if I can get those numbers. So thank you to everybody who continues to watch on a daily basis. Thank you to everybody that I converse with in the YouTube chat room. I appreciate each and every one of you. For Against the Public, I'm Dana Lane. All the best to you and your wagers on Sunday.